Hey, what's up? So this video is about retracing your steps. So the idea is that it's like if you've ever been to a place that you enjoy, but then for whatever reason you had to leave or you went somewhere else, but then you got to a point where you realized that you wanted to go back to where you were. You need to retrace your steps, and it's a funny process, and it is something that I'm going through right now in my life, just like kind of picking up the pieces of the shambles of my life as things have fallen apart over time and whatnot, different. And anyways, but so what was the point? So it's like getting on point. It's hugely important to me. Like for myself, I like to get up really early in the morning, and in order to do that, you have to really have your ducks in a row. You have to have your diet has to be on point. You have to you can't be intoxicating yourself with things, those kinds of things. You borrow from like the future. You might have a little bit of fun, but then you will get, you're not going to want to wake up early in the morning if you got a hangover of any sort. So yeah, your diet's got to be good. And another thing too, it's like the body needs, I actually have this thing. I'll just get it. It's right here. So like the body needs, what is it? There is this thing. I have it here because it's just so good. It's called Bashar's 6 Basic Principles for Perfect Health. So oxygen is one of them. So like a deep breathing technique. So for myself, that is yoga and meditation. But it has to be done consciously, right? Because you can practice yoga and not even factor into the breath, and you can practice what some people would call meditation, sitting there, and not be practicing certain breathing techniques and whatnot. So it has to be done consciously. Hydration, you need to drink enough water. It's super important. Depending on your lifestyle and what you're doing, right? I mean, there's different people have different thoughts about that, but I found that like I would at times not drink hardly any water. And then but yeah, I think it's like for myself, if I need to perform, it helps to drink water. And it certainly doesn't not help to get dehydrated. And if you have dry skin and dry lips and that kind of stuff, it's your body's telling you something. Exercise, you have to, movement is life. Our bodies need to move. And so it's like, for myself, when I'm coming out of something, when I'm trying to get back on point, it's like going to the gym. You have to force yourself to go to the gym to cultivate high energy. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. You don't just roll out of bed and be like, oh, I feel amazing, I'm ready to embrace the world, right? I mean, it takes that. So it's like, and that means running. For me, I do high intensity calisthenics, and then I do yoga as well. And so I go a couple times a week to the gym. Stress reduction is another huge one. So stress comes from many things. It can come from poor diet. It can come from unhealthy relationships, toxic environments. I mean, so that's one of the ones here. Cleansing, detoxing. I mean, if you eat garbage, I had a dream last night. It was pretty, just gotta check the time. It was pretty interesting. So last night, I'm doing super well right now. I'm back on point. One of the ways you can tell that about me is if I'm making lots of videos, because I'm inspired just constantly, and it's not like stuff that goes into my book. It's not book worthy, but it's interesting, and I just like to get it off my chest. And so But so last night I was like, oh, I needed a lemon. My dad's going down south. I went and stopped by his place. Then I need to go get a lemon. So I went to this store, and then when I was there, I did buy a tiny little bag of chips. Ate them, and it's like, I eat things because like my body is very sensitive. I eat things like where there's just like trace elements of stuff. Like some of the supplements I take are like, I take vitamin D, curcumin, a mushroom blend, resveratrol, NMN, and some other one, Shilajit, right? But like these things are very trace minerals and stuff like that. But it's like, and then you go and eat something that has trace garbage in it, and I ate it because I was like, well, I'm saying goodbye to this old lifestyle of I don't know what to call it. There are words for it. Screwing around, basically. Yeah, and so then I had a dream last night. And in this dream, I ate and it was weird because I swear I could like taste it. It didn't taste that good, but it was a hamburger, and it was like a bacon double cheeseburger with like a pound of onion rings on it. And I ate this thing. And like, I'm a vegan. I do not eat things like that. The onion rings maybe, but not so much anymore because I'm really trying to stay away from the oils that those things are cooked in, and just like deep fried foods in general. I mean, and so, but the whole thing, it was a metaphor. I know how to interpret my dreams to some extent, and it's just a metaphor that, look at this, it was a reflection. It's like, this is what you're doing. You're eating the things that to not agree with your system, that you don't even agree with on any level, and there you are doing it, right? So to get that divine reflection, I was very grateful for that in the morning, when I woke up. And not eating garbage is a thing. And I woke up later today than yesterday. Also, it's to do with diet, because the more I'm getting on point, it's like, okay, I need to so this is the last one here, lightening diet. Bashar recommends that we lighten our diets by eating mostly high water containing foods like fruits and vegetables, plant-based, raw and organic diet. And this is what I'm moving towards. It says, on the contrary to popular belief, the lighter our diet, the less we need to eat. And I've experienced this too, but it's a funny thing, coming to that, going through the process and like really embracing it. And I've been eating, when I want something heavy, I've been eating potatoes, and it's like, well, okay, that's not so bad, but they're pretty low in protein. There's not a huge nutritional profile there, and it's like, I eat bang for a buck. I shouldn't be eating things that are not nutritionally optimal for myself, for my own lifestyle and where I'm going, what I would like to get out of life and my diet supports. And so so what is it? Yeah, so, and I also know, like with plant medicine, after a medicine ceremony, you typically, like when the refeeding process, part of the refeeding process, it includes certain things that are enjoyable. The first part is like nuts and seeds, and like raw fruits, and like fresh fruits, dried fruits, roasted nuts, and things like that. But then for a meal, it's a root vegetable thing because it lowers your energy. And it's just like, understanding that what is sort of taking place energetically, it's like, I don't want that. I'm looking to cultivate energy right now, not lower I feel grounded, I feel good, right? I mean, I know I'm talking right now, but it's because I have a time limit. I have to go to work and my boss is going to pick me up, but I have a little bit of time to do this. So yeah, changing diets, certainly I made a thing this morning. It's just like, okay, certainly less potatoes and rice too, like I on the fence with rice, but I recall doing well on a grain-free diet. And then it's funny how all of a sudden you start doing this stuff again. And this is what I mean by retracing your steps, right? Because it's like, holy cow, I've been here before. How did I get back to where I was? And then why am I coming back to it? Like, how did I fall off? And it's the same thing with this smoking weed and stuff like that. I mean, like, I've been sober for long periods of time, and then somehow it just kind of ends up back in life again. And it's like, this time I learned a lot of things about it, because it's like, if you want to detox from weed, it's like, they say it's, some people like, oh, cranberry juice or detox kits or this, that's a lot of it's, questionable, where it's like, what does work? Good sleep, drinking a good amount of water to flush your system, teas and stuff like that, stuff that has antioxidants, eating a really healthy diet, and also exercise. But then after you do all of these things, so for about 3 days, like, some of the stuff comes out of your body, but then you start, you get your energy back, and then you start exercising again, and then you start burning fat, right, that you might have accumulated from overeating when you were high, right? And then that the thing is that your body stores THC in fat, and then so after a few days, all of a sudden you wake up and it's just like you're stoned again. You can feel it in your like frontal lobes or cortex or whatever, like, and it's just like, and it's really annoying because you're trying to detox, you're trying to to get over this, and then it comes back to bite you in the ass, essentially. And so and it's funny, I told my buddy, who smokes a lot of weed and drinks constantly, I mean, just as a joke, but I was like, dude, you know what you gotta do? You need to, if you want to get high, you gotta quit smoking weed and go to the gym. He's never gonna do either of those things. But it's funny anyways. So there's all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's just a funny thing, trying to, and so this is the thing that I know about myself. I know that I'm on point when I only need to sleep a few hours and I wake up feeling refreshed and fully alert. If it takes a long time, if you wake up kind of in a daze and a haze, and there's like hesitation about getting up, even though you have a reason to get up, you have things that you need to do, that you want to work on, that it's something that you want to attack. I got things I gotta write, I have a reason to get up. But if you're groggy in the morning, it's saying something. It's like, okay, well, I'm not smoking weed, I'm not drinking, I don't have toxic relationships, I'm doing all this stuff right. The only thing left is diet, right? And so that's something that I love for myself, for my life, because I have a fairly simple life right now, is that I'm able to isolate what is going on very easily. And then this thing, once again, it's about retracing your steps. It's like, okay, I've been here before, and what was it last time? It was rice. Even though I can eat it and I can get away with it and I do enjoy it a little bit, it's just like, I remember, I think when I started eating it again recently, I hadn't eaten it for months, and I was like, oh, whatever, a little bit of rice, and then all of a sudden I started getting a little bit of pain in some of my joints. It's my body telling me in a very subtle way, don't, caution, careful with that stuff. And certainly with the just cooked foods in general, it's like, just beware. Be aware, beware. If it doesn't work with your body super well. And so, yeah, retracing the steps. You know, and it's funny, the thing with diet, I have said this before, that it's like once you dial it in, it's like the difference is night and day, and it's almost instantaneous, because the way that, like how quickly things move through your system, and how once you stop putting the wrong fuel in and then start putting the right fuel in, you know, depending on what you're trying to do, right? But right, like I said, I'm trying to cultivate high energy right now because I have things that I would like to focus on, and I need to direct my energy into those avenues. And so I can't remember what I was saying, but the point is I'm gonna be getting up. Oh yeah, it happens super quickly. Like, you know, as soon as you stop eating the wrong things, it was like, yeah, I remember before retracing that step back to like when I started with the raw food, and it was like one day my whole body was in pain. The next day I was pain free. The next day, you know, that's why it's like, to me, I don't research about food or anything like that. I don't tinker with it. I don't care about, you know, these different bacteria and stuff that you can grow in this and that, or like all the stuff that's up here. It's just like, no. Whole, fresh, raw, ripe, organic fruits and vegetables, in season, local, dirt grown, high variety. I supplement with a few supplements, you know, get trace minerals. You know, and I got my green smoothie right here just because I'm going to work. And so, and which is great because it's such a rabbit hole, you know, always looking into different things and people like talking about all these different diets. And it's just, I spent 20 years doing that, but it's kind of like the way I've come to it is it's just like with yoga. I found all of the answers that I'm looking for. It's working. And so I don't need to keep looking, right? Because you can just like look and look and look and look and look and look and look. And people will be like, oh, well, you got to do this. And this is what you need to know. And it's like, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm done. Unless what I'm doing stops working. I think the point is, it's not that it's like 100%, but it's like I can tell that I'm on the right path, right? And it's becoming so easy to correct that it's like, this is definitely the right path. You can tell. Yeah, as far as I can tell, right? Don't take my advice, right? But I mean, to me, raw food, it is, yeah. I mean, it's what Bashar says too. If you have any idea who that guy is and the weight of his words, I mean. So the other thing too, is one little, it's sort of connected, not really. But so the other day, my buddy works for this place and he gets these things sometimes. And so he calls me and he's like, hey buddy, do you want a bunch of vegan protein powder? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, buddy. So then I eventually go pick these things up and sat there sitting here, you know, they made it from my car into my room. And then this morning I was like, okay, you know, it's like, hold on a second, just slow down. I don't just eat anything. You know, you might have some vegetables, but I'm not going to eat them. It's like, are they organic? Where'd they come from? You know, how were they grown? You know what I mean? What kind of fertilizers? What kind of pesticides? All that kind of stuff. I mean, did the people who grow them have love in their hearts, or did they have money in their eyes? You know, so I don't just eat things. And so there was all these ones. It's called Vega protein powders. So it's like, this company was started by some guy. So I started researching these things before I decided to eat them. And I was like, so that company was owned by some guy and he wanted to, you know, make some protein powder or whatever because he couldn't find what he was looking for. So number one, it's not organic, huge red flag. And then he sold it to some other company, and then that company sold it to some other company. And so, like, what is the integrity of these companies? It's questionable, right? I don't know, without doing a whole bunch of research. But then you got to dig a bit to find this stuff out. But there is, check the time here, 10 minutes. It's like there is, what do you call it? So they're sweetened with stevia, which isn't good for you, according to, as far as I know. And I don't like the taste of it too. It's way too sweet. And what else? There's a class action lawsuit against that company right now for containing levels of some heavy metals or something. It's like cadmium and something else. I mean, you have to like look for this stuff. You got to scroll and scroll. It's like, oh, what is the lawsuit against Vega right now, right? And you read about this, and then you read about other things that are in there. It's like, okay, there's xanthan gum and guar gum. It's like I had issues with those when I used to drink plant-based milk things, soy milk, milks, and it would dry my skin out. Whatever it is, my body does not like it. And there are things that they're like binders that make things creamy or smooth or whatnot. And so that's why they put them in smoothie things. But so, I read that and I was like, okay, so all of the Vega, there was like 8 of them, 8 tubs of Vega stuff, but it's like, I'll take that to the food bank. I'm not putting that in my body, if it's free, for someone who's not hypersensitive, that's fine, good luck, but that's not, it's better than throwing it away, but I'm not going to eat it. And there was even one that was organic, and it was like Pure Life something is the brand, and it's like organic, all the stuff, protein and greens, and then like, the writing on the back of them is so small. Like, you need the right light to see it. I will take the time to sit there. But yeah, I mean, it's like, when I read it, it's like, I'm looking for stevia because I won't eat that stuff. And I don't, because I've heard it's not good for you, and I don't like how sweet it is. And it's a cheap sweetener as well. So it's just anything cheap and convenient is just a huge red flag. Anything that's convenient, well, except for fruit. I mean, nothing more convenient than peeling a banana and having it over with. But the point is, and then you read this like non-medicinal ingredients, and it's like, okay, organic this, organic cornstarch. That stuff, no. And then there was like what was it? Silicon dioxide, which is those little packages that you get in certain things that absorbs moisture, and it says do not eat, poison. Well, it's like, I don't know, it's like for an organic certification, or like to be able to put that word on something, it's like there just has to be a percentage. It seems like it doesn't have to be 100%, or there can be like trace amounts of certain things, but it's just like, no. So out of what he gave me, I'm taking 9 of them, and they're like $50-$60 a piece for these things, but it's like, it's not worth it. Your health, it is your greatest investment. It's not worth it to put garbage in your body ever. And so, yeah, I kept 3 that are just from this company, Manitoba Harvest, and it's called hemp. Yeah, so it's just hemp. And I have hemp in my smoothies anyways. I just use the hemp hearts from this company called Better Than Organic. But yeah. Anyway, so that is absolutely everything. I do not have one more second here. I gotta go to work, and I gotta get dressed, and I gotta, shut down my room. So, tracing your steps, how to find your way back to a better place. Super good.